Look at that. What a glorious view. We have the tea, coffee. Oh,
Puri.
Life can get better at this point.
Yeah, lovely setting. Huh?
So this looks like the big finale. Then you also have the kingfish, the acre, and the Malabar mutton stew.
Quite a nice combination, the jackfruit seed with drumstick leaves.
We've had a tough time trying to pick what we liked most because we loved them all. One of the nice things out here at Tranquil Resorts at Kuppamudi Estate is that there is 400 acres for one to explore. And what's thoughtful of the folks here is that they've charted these walking courses that run across the property, and there are different levels. So if you want a short walk, well, they have an easy walk. If you are brave and want to do something a little more taxing, they also have things like the Braveheart and the Indiana Jones walk. The terrain here also makes for great four-wheel driving. So I thought this afternoon we'll take the Jimny up the estate and see how far we can get. So at its peak, Kuppamudi Estate is about roughly 1,300 odd meters. That's about 4,000 feet above sea level. I don't know if we'll make it all the way up there, but we'll probably get at least somewhere along the way. So let's take the Jimny for a drive. I've never done a wet drive before, so this is going to be interesting. So currently the car is on two-wheel drive. We've just begun. It's raining, as you can see, and the ground is wet, slushy in certain parts. So Ajay and Rajesh are also riding with us in their Thar. There's also an interesting rewilding program that the folks at this estate are working on. So we're also going to take a look at that. Driving through some slush there, the traction control is kicking in. Well, I was slip sliding there. But look at the views, amazing views. This is interesting. It's a hairpin. I love the smell of the earth as the tire is plowing through the mud. An amazing view. You can see the mist settle on the estate below, and somewhere in the distance you can see the town of Sultan bathery. I think this calls for the... There you go, easy. I was trying to avoid going into four drive as far as possible. I want to see what the Jimny can do. I'm going to go back into two-wheel drive. So the tires on my Jimny are the standard tires. I want to see to what extent I can push the Jimny without having to change the tires or whatever. I think it should do fairly well. Only that one part I went into four-wheel drive.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also on four-wheel here.
But now I'm on two-wheel. When you're curving on the slush and going higher, that's where my wheels are slipping. What are you on now?
I'm on four low.
You're four low.
Yeah, it's not gripping. Put into 4 low,
It just moves on.
just move.
No, that's what I saw the difference. The moment I slipped into 4H, it just kind of took off. So the Thar also has mud terrain tires, but some of it is worn off, so it's kind of not gripping like it should. And I guess that's also the reason that it may be on 4L. Okay, there you go. I can feel the wheel sliding a bit, but I'm just kind of holding it steady. Okay, I think we need to go back to 4H. I think this is definitely 4H country because it's quite slushy. Quite slushy here. Look at that. What a glorious view. Today's our third day here in Kuppamudi Estate, the Tranquil. I've really enjoyed every day because every day we've done something new, something interesting. You don't need to have a four-wheel drive to come up here and soak these views. You can walk as well. Phew. I don't do treks, and there's a reason why I don't do treks, but I had to share this with you. We walked up all the way to the top of the estate. Actually, we jeeped to a certain point and then we walked up. It's been a strenuous climb for somebody who's not used to things like hiking, but the view from here is simply mesmerizing. This estate, I'm told, at the very top end gets to about 4,000 feet or so, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you can hear me above the wind noise, but what a view. There's the wind and I'm barely holding on for dear life. You have the town of Sultan bathery down below. You have the mountains in the distance. That, I'm told, is the elephant rock, the Anepara, shaped like an elephant. If you can see that, the trunk, the head of the elephant, you can even see the eye. It's a bit cloudy now. And then you have the rest of this region here. I'm trying to winch my arm as wide as I can while still trying to maintain some semblance of a grip, but this is truly mesmerizing. When they say Kerala is God's own country, well, it certainly is. Steep hairpin bend. This car has done everything that the Thar has managed to do up front, in my opinion, with considerably less effort. I don't know if I'm being biased here, but at least that's what I think.
It's kind of rain.
The Jimny is doing it. I don't know about the Thar. Will the Thar do it?
Yeah, that's the question. Will the Thar do it? Yeah.
It's like effortless, man. Piece of
Yeah,
cake.
but this is getting heavier. Yeah.
You think we should abort this?
Yeah, but it's nice. I mean, I'm glad that the Jimny is coming up beautifully here.
We want to climb up further, but I think because of the rains, it's also getting dark, so we may decide to just turn back here. But we'll just take a quick look at the Reforestation place.
So on your drive up, you would have noticed the difficult terrain we have. So we have almost 200 acres of terrain that is quite treacherous, steep, and not conducive for plucking. So we thought that we'll mark this area. The coffee will be looked after. We're not going to do any upgradation like grafting or uprooting and replanting.
Okay.
Nothing. And we decided that this is the area which we want to rewild or afforest. Maybe it will be detrimental to our coffee crop because of the overshading, but it doesn't matter. We'll make up by looking after the lower areas.
Ah.
So as you can see, there's a sapling of a Grevillea robusta, commonly known as silver oak.
Every year we incorporate about 500 trees. We've done 500 last year, we've done 500 this year, and continuously for the next 5 years we will be adding that many trees to this geographic area. While we take away, we also want to give back. You improve on the biodiversity on the property, you reduce your carbon footprint. 15 years down the line is what's important. It's what's important for this planet, it's important for this area, you know.
So it kind of holds the soil.
Landslides, everything can be taken care of by this program. We are also planning to plant some indigenous trees.
We're looking at jack, we're looking at guava. There's some of the indigenous trees that are native to the Wayanad area.
Okay.
These natural indigenous trees actually protect, not just with shade, but also with leaf litter that falls into the ground and adds, and you know, the organic matter gets enhanced by it.
Help the planet along to the next century, maybe.
Thank you, Ajay. You've been very considerate. Look at this arrangement here. We have the tea, coffee, we have the spoons. Oh!
Param puri.
Help yourself, people.
The classic Kerala snack.
Still warm, still warm.
Sausage buns, freshly baked. There you go.
Is it politically incorrect to have tea in a coffee estate?
5 hours away is the craziness of Bengaluru. And then you come into your estate and then you drive further up and you're lost among the clouds now almost. You got the mist that's creeping in. Amazing. Do you guys actually sit back and enjoy this once in a while?
You know, I come for such short visits, you know. This time 3 nights is a kind of extended visit for me. Frankly, no. Everybody around me is having a great time and blah, and I'm thinking of, you know, will this thing that I planted survive for 5 years and give me some fruit, or do I work related thing that goes on? And if I open a conversation with Ajay, it's again work related. No, it's not about chilling or anything. I suppose that's what it is when you are, you know, running or owning a coffee estate.
A lot of people don't know where this comes from. To figure out this actually was grown, it's gone through these vagaries of nature and every other, you know, challenge to finally appear on an aisle.
So that mangosteen that you will enjoy when you purchase at that supermarket shelf only exists because there was a planter who took a decision 10 years ago to actually plant something into that earth, not knowing fully well whether that plant would eventually blossom into a tree and produce fruit that would see the light of day.
Absolutely.
You see, we planted 400 lychee trees. It's the 9th year now, they've never flowered. We cared for them, they grew beautifully, big bushy trees. They're not flowering. Why? Because the rains are coming at the wrong time and they're not going into stress. So because this went out of the window, now we are doing pilots with 50 durian trees.
Oh, durian.
Smelly fruit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So we've planted about 100 clove trees.
For you, it's not just the coffee estate, right? But it's also the hospitality part of it.
Absolutely.
Because the plantation business is a very rough, I mean, when I say it's a very rugged, rustic sort of an operation.
Plantation business sort of ends at about 5 o'clock, 5:30. Once it's sundown, there's not more you can do. You just have to wait for the next morning to start up again. Element of hospitality is 365 days of the year. Till the last guest goes to bed, you're still there.
So good. That chicken sausage roll is really good. Life can get better at this point.
Kripal, talking about the afforestation program, if you could plant a couple of trees. One is going to be a silver oak and the other is going to be a jack.
Let's do this. Wasn't expecting to be doing this. Thank you for the honor. Well, it's pouring cats and dogs. I think time to head downhill. But that was quite a nice gesture, inviting me to plant a couple of trees, the silver oak and the jack. Also gives me an incentive to revisit Kuppamudi Estate at some point in the near future. Wow.
Yeah, lovely setting. Huh?
I think from the time that we've been here and we've seen the table laid out, each setting has been special, has been unique. We haven't seen the same setting twice.
So these are the people behind it, Victor and Jimny. They started Tranquil.
Yeah.
And they set some very high standards. Luckily for me, their daughter and son-in-law, they took over from them. Standards are being maintained or surpassed.
So it's more like a family tradition that began 25 years ago.
When we first started this hospitality,
Okay.
one of our guests said, "Do you always lay the table this way or is it some especially for us?" And before I could say anything, he said, "I've been eating at their table since I was a child. And it's always been like this."
From when I was 12 years old.
So basically it's a way of life,
It's a way of life.
right? And that's the way of life that you've shared with guests over the last quarter of a century. Fantastic. Come, let's eat. So this looks like the big finale. There's a delicious looking stuffed chicken breast with some baked vegetables. Some potatoes here with a nice mushroom sauce on the side. Then you also have the kingfish, the acre and the Malabar mutton stew.
Quite a nice combination, the jackfruit seed with the drumstick leaves.
Nice. So I think we've taken our western plate for now. We'll return for the ayakora and the mutton. Every dish that I've tasted, the two things that stand out food-wise, none of the dishes have been repeated. And we've had a tough time trying to pick what we liked most because we love them all. And of course, most of them are recipes that go back to.
A lot of them are, but
A lot of new ones will come in.
So whose recipe is this stuffed chicken?
Actually, I think
Learn
I thought
this.
Siddharth this
Oh,
The chicken is nice and moist.
it is.
Yeah,
isn't it?
very juicy. And the batter too isn't the sort that gets too much in the way.
no, it shouldn't be too thick.
So back then what you ate at home, that's what guests ate. Is that how it was?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yes, yes. We didn't have a huge spread at that time.
Okay.
But it would always be a bit of Western, a bit of Indian.
Oh, okay.
The tagline, "Live the life of yesterday's planter."
Ah.
And I would say that Victor's the last of the people still living that life. I think all the other planters are living retired lives, not this kind of style at all.
We started this place in 2002. We started an organization called the Wayanad Tourism Organization. There were just 6 of us.
So you paved the way.
In a sense, yes, yes. Our idea also was to sell Wayanad.
Well, I got some muttappam, samegappam. Lovely to sit there, talk with Mr. and Mrs. Victor Day and learn of the early days at Tranquil, about how things began out here as an extension of their home. That's the hospitality that gets experienced. Definitely want to taste some of the jackfruit seed and moringa. The fact that there's a personal connect that goes back 25 years. There's a rich history and tradition of hospitality. I think that's what makes this place special. I think everybody who comes here will probably overeat.
On a holiday, you have to eat.
Our last morning here at Tranquil Resort in Kuppamudi Estate, and what an amazing experience it has been over the last 3 days. From the accommodation, especially the room that I'm staying in, the tree house, where I've been waking up every morning to verdant views of the world outside. I've enjoyed every aspect of the time we've spent here, from the long walks to getting into the plantation and understanding more about the circle of life in places like these. Many a times we come from the outside and we appreciate the greenery, the fresh air and all of that for sure, but we don't spend too much time trying to understand what it takes to keep all this going. You can never get tired of the sound of the birds here. I quite enjoyed our birding walk too, and also the time that we spent with Rajesh, Rajaram and Ajay trying to understand what goes in to work on a plantation. Be it the coffee, the mangosteen, avocado and other fruit trees that they have planted here, and how it fits all together in this ecosystem. It was also fascinating to learn about the role, the hugely important role that bees play in all of this. I also enjoyed the time that we spent four-wheel driving last evening, although it was rainy, slushy, but it was still fun nonetheless, and also to go up and take a look at the Reforestation area. The riot of colors that you see in the flowers here, and this plant here is called the impatiens, and I learned this many years ago, that when this flower is in a bud form and it's ready to emerge, the moment you touch it, it just erupts open, and that's why it's called impatiens. It's impatient to display its beautiful colors to the world. Thank you. Good coffee in a coffee estate. So coming to the food, well, every meal here has been a delightful revelation into what delicious, wholesome food cooked to recipes that have been handed down generations can be all about. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but I've spent 3 days here. We've had 9 meals, 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches and 3 dinners. From the very first day on, once we had lunch and then we had the evening tea coffee at the pool villa and dinner, I've looked forward to every meal after that. Every dish at every meal has been special, and I think that's rare to find these days. Across culinary styles, be it Western, be it Indian, dishes from Kerala, the homemade jams, the preserves, the pickles, everything has been cooked so well by our hosts and the kitchen brigade here led by Chef Sivadas. The service too has been exemplary, very warm, very friendly, very kind, with Swami and his team as well. And I think that's largely owing to the family traditions of Tranquil. Tranquil, after all, began as a homestay by Mr. and Mrs. Victor Day. And the tradition of hospitality is now continued by Ajay and his wife Nisha. So everything that happens here is under their personal care, right from the food to every aspect of hospitality. I met them first 12 years ago, and their standards of hospitality, the personal care and attention that they shower on guests, I don't think has diminished in the least. So all in all, this may have begun as a homestay a quarter of a century ago, but I think Tranquil Resorts today is much bigger than that. So there's great accommodation, food, hospitality and service of course, but all of this in an estate environment that is ecologically responsible. So if you want to book a holiday that is interesting, definitely look up Tranquil Resort at Kuppamudi Estate in Wayanad. You will find all details in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed being on this vlog series with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Until the next time, take care, stay safe. Bye. Thought we'd do a change of scene today and try the South Indian breakfast. We have a nice masala uttapam, the onion chutney and also the tomato chutney. I like the slivers of chili in that. So thank you very much.
You are very, very welcome, Kripal. It was lovely to have you with us. We're looking forward to your next visit. Hopefully this time it doesn't take 12 years. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, hopefully it won't be as long as that, but thank you so much for everything. I mean, for your
Absolute pleasure. Yeah.
for your wonderful hospitality, and I think I enjoyed every moment of it. Every day had multiple highlights, and one was looking forward to what the next moment would bring. Thank you to all of you. I enjoyed my stay here at Tranquil, and I think it's all you people. Rumba Nandri. Thank you so much. Bye, Duke. A great team here, and the thoughtfulness is quite unmatched. Just as I was leaving, I also discovered this book in my room, and this is a coffee tea book that they hand to every guest who walks in, just to take a memory of Tranquil back home. Some pictures of Tranquil, the birds of Tranquil, some recipes of coffee and tea, and also some space to scribble your notes. I would be failing if I didn't mention the vision of Rajesh Rajaram and his family. You have 400 acres of estate here, and instead of 10, you could have easily had 50 or 60 odd rooms without any problem. But they've chosen to keep it small, thereby creating an environment that is ecologically responsible. See you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Safe travels.
See you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you back very soon.